Hey now! Time again. Press Pass Live. I am a happy man. It is a nice, quiet Saturday. Vegging out on some football. Outside of Alabama winning the game, watching Arkansas lose and getting ready for my Saints tomorrow. It has been a good day. It feels good outside. It's not 400 degrees here in New Orleans. It's been a good day, and now I get to spend a few minutes with you guys here on Press Pass Live. I got to apologize. I am by myself this week. I don't know where Brady's been. Maybe, hopefully, one day, fingers crossed, he'll be able to stop making millions and millions of fans happy with his movies that he's making and be able to join us back on Press Pass Live. Now, last week he had family stuff, and family stuff comes first. And this week, I'm pretty sure he's either on a movie set or spending time with his daughter. He's a very busy man. But I got a little drink here next to me. I got PlayStation Remote up and running. I blasted this out in the chat. I am all by myself right now, but I'm okay with that. Let's just jump right into it. So last time on Press Pass Live, we were able to catch you all the way up to Week 13. And now, here we are, Week 16. So we're going to cover weeks 14 and 15. I just turned off the Bears and Redskins game, which was my game of the week for this week. And it was a classic. A little over 3 minutes left. The Bears had just scored a long touchdown to go up by 9 or 10, I think. So it's a good game over in Chicago. Those two teams are going at it and fighting for that last playoff spot. I did pick the Redskins. The Bears are making me to look stupid, so it's okay. Let's just jump right in here then. Week 14, the Raiders and the Chiefs. Raiders beat the Chiefs, I should say. Chiefs got a brand new owner, and he's got a little bit to figure out with his brand new team. The Bills whip up on the Steelers, 26-0. I think this was actually a CPU game. Fields had some health issues and hasn't been able to play the last few weeks, but fingers crossed he'll be able to join us for the offseason. Broncos beat the Titans 37-20. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the New Orleans Saints 17-12. The Philadelphia Eagles beat the Washington Redskins 35-31. Arizona beats Miami 23-17. Carolina beats San Diego 22-19. Cleveland beats Cincinnati 38-14. This is actually a simulated game again. Cincinnati's owner is going to be out until after the offseason. He's having some health issues, and we're praying for you, bud, if you listen to this. Can't wait for you to get back here and join us. Chicago beats up on Detroit 41-10. Excuse me. You guys are going to have to work with me. This old voice that I had surgery on is still in the healing process. I got a long way to go, and so sometimes it gives me trouble being by myself. You're going to have to work with me. Houston beats Indianapolis 45-36. Jacksonville beats Minnesota 41-14. San Francisco beats the Giants 34-20. Atlanta beats the Rams 31-13. Seattle beats Green Bay 38-35. Dallas beats the Giants 16-13. And New England beats Baltimore 35-20. The game that I'd like to talk about and kind of break down for a few seconds here. Did I pass it up? Where'd it go? Here it is. Minnesota and Jacksonville. I think that this game, I'm doubting myself. It's very hard to remember who gets simulated when. I think that this game was played, and the reason I'm looking at it even in a blowout is because I really know that the Vikings have been playing red-hot football, and they just got totally demolished by the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Vikings go up 7-0 early, and then it was all Jacksonville for 2 quarters as they really put the game away in the second quarter. They go up 24-7 going into halftime, 14 more unanswered points after halftime, and then the Vikings just had no more answers. The Vikings get outrushed 121-43, 316 offensive passing yards to 115. But really, this was about the Jacksonville Jaguars. You'll see here just eating the clock and trying to put this game away as Minnesota was forced to do a bunch of passing. 55 penalty yards to 10 penalty yards. Only 5 third down conversions for the Vikings. Only 4 for Jacksonville. So this goes to show you that Jacksonville was playing some tremendous defense, probably some defensive scores in this game, and not really having a lot of third down opportunities. 2 turnovers for the Vikings really came back to bite them. Bortles with a quarterback rating of 149, 185 passing yards, the 1 touchdown, no interceptions, whereas he only had 9 completions. Bridgewater had 28 completions, 2 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions on the day. 81% for Bortles, 63% for Teddy. These quarterbacks are playing at a high rate. But again, this is all about that 3-headed monster over in Jacksonville. I really would like to see what would happen if the Jacksonville Jaguars just fed one main guy, what that guy would look like at the end of the season. Ivory with 59, Yeldon with 38, Robinson with 22. Peterson was only able to scrape together 36 rushing yards on the day. Ivory did have 3 touchdowns. Not going to see a lot of receiving yards here from the Jacksonville Jaguars because they were able to keep it on the ground, whereas the Vikings really put it in the air often. 8 receptions for Pruitt, the tight end, for 128. 8 for whatever this guy's name is. 8 for 101 with a touchdown. And then 3 for Robinson for 106. So he actually had a really good day. 35.5 average yards per catch on that. Jacksonville Jaguars are all about that defense, and Tulloch really led this team with 10 tackles. Oh, sorry, my internet's skipping around here. Tackles for loss, Griffin had 2 and McDonald had 2. Again, the Vikings are all about what that defensive line pressure can be putting on teams, but it just wasn't enough today. A sack for Fowler, a sack for Jackson, and a sack for Polesneski or whatever. This team really found a way to use those linebackers and defensive line to get after the quarterback and cause Teddy to not be able to keep his team in this. Even though Teddy really had a good day, he did force 2 passes that got picked off. I was just really surprised how this game got out of hand in the second quarter. Jacksonville kept the gas on in the third quarter and really ran away with it. Let's take a look at Week 15 here. The Rams beat the Seahawks 18-13. Miami beats the Giants. The Jets, man, I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't get it out. 24-6. The Packers beat Chicago in a really tight battle there, 13-10. Dallas beats Tampa Bay 21-17. Jacksonville keeping that red-hot streak alive against a very good Texans team. I actually watched this game, and that defense for the Jaguars was swarming. They win 42-17. Buffalo beats Cleveland 20-7. Baltimore beats Philadelphia 31-25. Tennessee beats Kansas City 41-27. The Giants beat Detroit 26-12. And that Detroit Lions slide here in the second half of the season just continues to go downward. I don't know what has happened to Junior and his Lions, because that team was really having a great season. But here in the second half of the season, they've kind of fallen apart. Minnesota beats Indianapolis 44-24. I watched this game and he tended, to get the frustrations from the week before out on Indianapolis and really hammered him good. That hammering continued here into Week 16. We'll cover that on the next Press Pass Live. They win 44-24. Arizona wins 37-7 against the Saints. This game was actually a very tight game that we played. We had to play it several times. We had a DC play the second game just to add the scores together because there was just a minute left in the game. He was making a drive to tie the game. I ended up stopping him, so I got the sim win. This was a really tight game, a fun game between the two commissioners in this league. I love playing chaotic. I wish we played more often. I can't wait to see what the Saints do in the draft as they really try to turn things around there in New Orleans. The Falcons win against the San Francisco 49ers 38-35. New England beats Denver 31-26 in the game of the week. That's actually the game we'll come back here and look on and break down. Oakland beats San Diego 16-9. Pittsburgh beats Cincinnati 35-17. And Washington beats Carolina 34-21. And that's a look at your week 14 and 15 games here in the OMFL. Let's break this down just a little bit further as I watch Auburn pile it on Arkansas. Makes me a really happy man. I got to watch some of this game. I didn't get to watch the entire thing, but this was a really close game that really went a different direction than I thought it would. New England has been playing extremely good football lately, but the Broncos have quietly put together a really special season here, and they're going to be a team to contend with as the playoffs move on here. I really thought that this was going to be a matchup that we might get just a glimpse of what the playoffs might look like, and I thought New England really was the better team here. This game went into halftime 17-6, New England firmly in hand, tightened up as both teams went into the fourth quarter, with the game still being with that same differential, but then Denver gets this 13 points in the fourth quarter to come away. Oh, I'm sorry, what am I thinking? I'm thinking, you see, this is why I shouldn't be left all by myself. I can't read. New England won this game. Denver tightened it up. That's what it was in the fourth quarter. So the 13 points in the fourth quarter tightened it up, but New England actually put this one away late in the fourth and came away with a good victory. New England really is a powerhouse. Denver is having a great season, and this might be something that helps Denver as they move into the playoffs. I really think if a team was going to lose here, it had to be Denver, because Denver's going to take more away from losing than New England's going to take away from winning this game. 356 total yards to 297 yards. The rushing attack was really not there for the Denver Broncos, and that's what they're known for. 106-44. I can't wait to get these rushing sliders adjusted and really get you guys some opportunities to rush the ball better. It should be improved for the second season. 253 passing yards to 250. 17 first downs for the New England Patriots. They are a machine, and they know how to make that ball get rolling down there. 8 third down conversions. Both teams turned the ball over twice. Denver actually did a really good job in the red zone, 100%, but New England just put this game away with time of possession, 24 minutes to 15 minutes. Let's look at some stats here. Tom Brady having a very Tom Brady-like day. I'm surprised that he's actually still getting playing time there. He gets 238 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Brissett looks like he comes in for a pass or two. He passes for 23 yards, 91.6. Lynch struggled a little bit, 2 touchdowns, but he does have the 2 picks. 260 yards is a nice thing. Excuse the voice, I apologize. Blunt, 19 carries, 80 yards, a 4.2 average. Anderson actually averaged the ball pretty well, 4.5 yards, but he only got 8 carries. Lewis, that change of pace back for the New England Patriots, they actually used him very, very well. 7 carries, 31 yards with a 4.4 average and a touchdown. Thomas having a very good season, 5 receptions for 100 yards basically, 1 touchdown. 1 touchdown for Elderman. He gets 5 receptions for 65 yards. But we really need to look at the defense here. Marshall, 12 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, and a sack. Butler for New England also tossed in the sack, but Marshall was doing his very best to keep the Denver Broncos in this game. Talib, Ryan, and Chung all get interceptions on the day, but it is the New England Patriots who come away with a very impressive victory. Sorry that I had that wrong early on, but look for Denver to learn some lessons from this game. They're going to apply those lessons as they move into the playoffs. So that is a look at your Week 14 and 15 games. Week 16 is underway, and there's actually not a ton of games. I think we're about halfway done or so. Giants and the Eagles, I think, are going to go down tomorrow night. Buccaneers and the Saints, I think, goes down tonight possibly. Jets and Patriots, I'm not sure where that game stands. Chargers and Browns, I'm not sure where that game stands. 49ers and Rams, I don't think we've actually heard from these owners. Tisk, shame on you. We expect more than that. Bengals and Texans, that's going to be a simulated game because our Bengals owner is out. And then the Lions and Cowboys, we actually haven't heard from either one of those owners either. Tisk, shame on you. We expect more from our owners. Let's look at a couple of stats here as we move on into the playoffs. We're just going to take a quick look at the standings. And then we're going to talk about a couple little FPR things that we've done. Let's take a look at your power rankings. We got the Patriots coming in at number 1, Falcons at number 2, the Jaguars at number 3, the Bills at number 4. Those Jaguars are red hot. I got to just throw that in there. The Falcons have put up a ton of points, great offensive numbers. For the last 2 weeks, those Jaguars have been unbelievable. The Broncos come in at number 5, the Vikings at number 6, the Dolphins at number 7, the Giants at number 8, the Redskins and Panthers at 9 and 10 respectively. Raiders, Texans, Cowboys, Buccaneers, and Bears are your 11 through 15. 16 through 20 is the Rams, the Seahawks, the Lions, the Packers, and the Steelers. 21 through 25 is going to be the Bengals, the Titans, the Colts, the 49ers, the Chiefs. The 26 through 30 is going to be the Eagles, the Jets, the Cardinals, the Ravens, and the Chargers. And 31 and 32 is the Browns and the Saints. These teams are really better than their record. I can't wait till they get time to really focus on their team. Chaotic works so much. I can't wait to see what he does this offseason and really turn that team around over in the Bayou. The Steelers and the Bengals are really duking it out here in the AFC North. Unfortunately, though, the Bengals are not going to be able to play the rest of the season. He's having some real serious health issues. I don't know what I can and can't share, so I'll kind of keep that to myself. But the Steelers look like they're going to be the ones who win this division. So if you're in that division, just know next season it's going to be wide open. The Jaguars have sewed up the AFC South, but the Texans are still fighting for a playoff spot, and they're still very much alive. Patriots and Bills have sewed it up. The Patriots have won that division, but the Bills have taken a wild card. It's crazy to think that the 13-2 team that's put up 422 points and only allowed 438 points is actually going to be a wild card team. But that's what you get to deal with here in the OMFL. The Dolphins are still alive for that last playoff spot at 9-6. The AFC West has been sewn up by the Broncos at 11-4. Raiders are still fighting for that last playoff spot. I'm not sure who gets the lead between the Raiders and the Dolphins, but they are going to battle it out, and it's going to come down to a wire for that last playoff spot. Moving over to the NFC North, the Vikings have the lead, and they have that complete division sewed up at 10-5. Bears and Lions are technically still in it, along with the Packers. The Bears are going to get, or at least they were winning, unless things happened in the last 3 minutes, a much-needed victory this week. The Lions really have just completely disappeared, and now aren't even scheduling their game. So a little disappointing in Junior. We expect more. I hope everything's okay. I hope they're able to play that game. NFC South has been over for a while. 12-3 for the Falcons, but the Panthers are right there battling it out as they have really been a much better team here in the second half of the season. But they're still in there for that last playoff wild card spot. The Giants look like they're going to win this division, especially if the Redskins have lost tonight. Redskins and Cowboys, I think, are technically still in it, but the loss tonight is not going to help the Redskins much at all. And then the NFC West is coming down to the Rams and the Seahawks. Both of these teams are battling it out. It's going to be interesting to see who wins this. I really think that this is going to be a much better division next season, as all of these teams will actually be able to stay at these teams and really get some rivalries going. This is a much better division than what it looked like this year. These teams just changed pace too much. So there's a look at your standings and your power rankings here in the OMFL. We are glad that we are full again, but that's going to transition to what has happened here recently. So, if you don't go to the forums, then how should I say this? I am encouraging you. I guess that's the best way to put it. I'm encouraging you strongly that you should make it a habit to start going there every day now. especially now that the playoffs and off season are here and have started. If you go to the Central Hub, you're going to see a bunch of threads that I put up. I put up about 15 of them. A lot of these are just sitting here as we wait for the off season. I'll probably start updating some of them for votes tonight. So you'll be able to vote actually after tonight for Rookie of the Year for offense, Rookie of the Year for defense, Player of the Year for offense, Player of the Year for defense, League MVP, and Coach of the Year. There's explanations on each of those. We're going to pick the top 3 candidates. We'll let the league vote on that. And we'll make a cool graphic for the guys who win that they can put in their signature. Chaotic is going to be helping us make sure that we keep track of this. We've actually lost our history from the 16 years previous. It was always done by other people that were in the league with me, and I always kind of handed that off. And so I've made it a matter for me to make sure that we keep over that, and Chaotic is helping me with that. You're also going to see that there is a thread up there for owner-submitted rules and league suggestions. If you have a rule that you would like to see take place or a suggestion for our league, this is your opportunity to let us hear your voice. What I do is I take every single reply and I make its own thread in our boardroom. And as a board, we have discussions about every single thing, whether it's a good decision, why or why not it's a good decision. And then we let you know what we've decided. We want to hear your voice. We want your input. And if there's a way for us to do things better, then we want to make that change for you. This is your opportunity for the next couple of weeks to let us hear your voice and go ahead and get that up there. And take a quick drink to help my voice out. You're also going to see a thread up there that's a change exception form for season 68. We are in season 68. Now that is a very justified guesstimate from the years previous, because I don't know the exact number, but I know about how many seasons we got every year in PC and every year in PlayStation 3 and 4. So it's a really good close estimate at 68. So if you have a player that you want to play in a position that is not allowed currently in the list of positions that a player can play, then this is your opportunity to fill out a form and let us know who that player is, where you want them to play, and why you think that they should play there. What we do is we take that and we discuss that when we let you know if that has been approved. You're also going to see a thread in there for the draft sheet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and make a spreadsheet of every player, every school, every attribute, not the grades, but their height, weight, all that stuff. And I'm going to put that up for you so that if you want to use that spreadsheet, you'll be able to fill that out for yourself and make your own draft board. Just something to try to help you with your draft night. As we move forward, though, you're also going to see there is a draft order that's going to be updated there and a draft night vote. Once we get a good idea of what, at least a 4 to 6 day range of what night the draft could be on, we'll put a couple of those dates up in there and we'll let you vote. And we usually take the top one that fits and we go ahead and make that the draft night. If you're not able to make the draft, you are able to trade out of the draft, but we like to try to get as many people there. We do a great draft show 30 minutes before. We kind of cover some pre-draft thoughts, and then as the draft goes, I break down every single pick with as many notes as I have. I kind of tag some people to give me some ideas of what other people look like out there, and I kind of give you my best guesstimate of what I think players look like. You're also finally going to see a thread that is called Rules Being Removed. And this is where I went through the rule book and changed some wording and took out some things that are old and maybe don't fit in Madden anymore. Maybe some old PC rules that just don't fit us anymore. So I've done my due diligence. I actually spent several hours last night just cleaning it up, trying to make it easy to read so that you can understand on what to do and what is allowed here. So if you haven't had time to check that out, make sure you go check out all 4 of those FPR threads that we have. We have one on how the league operates, one on offense, one on defense, and one on league contracts and league player movement. So make sure that you check those out. Finally, we have a test franchise up. This is going to be during the playoffs. This is going to be for 9 playoff teams. Once the playoffs are over, we will open it up to playoff teams. But this is just so that we can test out some slider changes. If you click that, you'll see what kind of changes that we're wanting to test out. What we're looking to do is help with the the wide receiver catch. There is no usually catch, but the wide receiver catches are a lot of drops that we're trying to help with. We're also trying to help with the speed, just a hair. Wide receiver catch, just a hair. Speed, just a hair. Linebackers and running backs and quarterbacks all seem to be like stuck in the mud. So we're just trying to a little something on speed. Not a lot, just a little something. We have several different ways to try that. So we're going to try a couple of different of those chances and opportunities and ways that we can make that change happen to test it. We're also looking to add to the running game a lot. So we're really going to make major changes to the running game. We're also looking to back off of pass block a little bit. Not to open up blitzes, because it looks like a lot of people getting to the quarterback are doing it through blitzes. It seems like quarterbacks in general, as a rule of thumb, have a lot of time back there. So we're just looking to tune that down just a little bit. Let defensive linemen be able to put some pressure on the quarterback and just tune down the amount of time that quarterbacks have just a very little bit. And so you'll see all the different changes that we're looking to make. We're just testing these things to see if we want to make these. If you look at the stats, you'll kind of see why we're looking to make these changes. A little bump in quarterback accuracy, not a lot, just a hair, just to help out a little bit. Quarterback stats seem to be a little low. Running back stats seem to be a little low. The big play is there, but we're going to probably tune up tackling just a hair. So we're just looking at a couple of different things there. And if you're interested, I need to send you an invite. So make sure that you hit me up and you let me know, hey, I want an invite, and we will get that invite out to you. So that is going to transition me to an uncomfortable thing. So this isn't fun, but as a commissioner, sometimes you got to do things that aren't fun. You don't always get to have fun as a commissioner. So last night, or yesterday I should say, I had an owner PM me saying that he was going to have to leave the league, but he'd like to finish out the season. He actually didn't ask. He just kind of demanded. He's like, hey, just letting you know I'm quitting at the end of the season. So the commish, Chris, Philadelphia Eagles owner, decided he needed to leave. He's getting a new job. He was moving. There's been some tension building for a while now. Chris was one of our really active, great owners early on. Then had some disagreements with me on some stuff and just was really aggressive and just didn't handle things properly. So there's some tension that's been building for a while. As you know, we have Bill is an owner of the Giants, used to be a board member with us and decided to take a step back because Bill too can be no nonsense, straight to the point, like a little abrasive sometimes. To Bill's credit though, Bill works on it and Bill tries not to be aggressive sounding or come across the wrong way. Bill's a good dude. Chris is a good dude, but those two dudes hit heads yesterday. And one thing led to another, and it just got way out of hand. So I PM'd both owners, but one of the owners didn't like that I said, please don't do that in the main chat. He felt like I was calling him out, even though I said please, which I thought was being really nice. I don't know, I'm a little confused by that. So he kind of got into it with me on a private message, just didn't go well. And I decided to go ahead and just remove him now. He was leaving anyway. Had to find an owner. I had an owner that actually wanted that team. He clearly was not happy here. It's disappointing that it had to go there. And so I feel like I had to take a minute to talk about this. If the number one rule in play is don't do anything often, then the number one rule in this league is be respectful. We are all grown men. We take time away from families, work, to let this be an escape and a place where we just have fun playing a game and being big kids. I look forward to a lot of camaraderie and guys really enjoying talking to one another. And overall, we have a great set of guys here. We really, really do. I enjoy the guys that we have here. But as in life, we have guys that feel like they have to prove their manhood. And last night really felt like two bulls trying to prove who had the bigger penis. And it just is disappointing. I expect more from owners in our league. I expect more from guys in our league. I expect guys to treat each other with respect. And the end of the day, people like Chaotic and Brady and Ducks and now Colin and people like Bill in the past and myself have invested a lot of time and a lot of finances, our personal hard-earned work money, as well as the platinum owners who have given their own money to help us with that financial burden. And at the end of the day, no one works harder than I do in this league. And no commish works harder than I do. There are commissions who do a better job than I do, and there are leagues who offer better stuff because they have more talent and more time and just different scenarios. But there's no commish who works harder than me. And I am not going to let this be not fun for me because somebody wants to prove that they're a man. And when I'm having a conversation with an owner about just chilling out and just like take a minute to take a breather and just walk away from this conversation, and that guy's got to go to insults and making fun of me, at the end of the day, it's not going to be allowed. And at the end of the day, it's my league. And I try to make this everyone's league, and everyone has a voice. But I built this for 16 years, and I played a part in this, and I'm not going to let someone just be a jerk just because. So, it's unfortunate, and I just felt like an explanation needed to happen. I know that Chris has some friends here, and I hope that you guys stay, and I have nothing but respect for Chris. It just didn't work out here, and I hope things do work out for him and his league as they move forward, and we're going to move forward, and this is going to be a good thing. So I'm looking forward to Season 2. The next Prep Pass Live will be a little off schedule. We'll do a special Press Pass Live as soon as we get into the playoffs, and I'll give you my entire playoff predictions, and then we'll do another one at the end of the playoffs whenever that happens. I expect that the way guys like to play here, that those playoffs are going to shoot out pretty quickly. So I'm looking for the playoffs. That's going to be a lot of fun. The offseason is a blast. In that last podcast, I'll break down the schedule, break down what you need to look for, what you should expect as we move into the offseason here. But it's going to be a good time. Make sure that you look at our website often, grownfolksoc.com. If you're not a member here and you're just checking this out, we are a group of leagues. We have a Madden league, actually 2 Madden leagues, a FIFA Pro Teams, and we also support a WWE 2K league that is not ours, but we just advertise for them. If you're interested, we'd love for you to come join us. Make sure that you like these videos and subscribe. There we go. Spit it out, Nate. Subscribe to our channel. And look forward to the next game of the week for week 16 or 17. It's going to be our last game of the week of the year. And I can't wait as we kind of roll into the offseason and see how this thing plays out. So make sure you check out the forums, check out the website, lots of good blogs. I'm going to try to get a hot seat done tomorrow. I look forward to some really good games going down here. So for the OMFL, the Grown Folks Online community, all of our leadership and the board, I appreciate you for listening to me ramble for the last 20 or 30 minutes. We'll see you on the other side. Have a great weekend. Good luck to your NFL teams on Sunday morning. We will see you next time. Peace out, fellas.